Good morning and welcome to AirSage Brewing Data. My name is Robert Kohler, and thanks for tuning in to learn more about data. A little bit about myself. I'm the CRO at AirSage and a professional transportation planner with 2 years of experience in the transportation and big data spaces. Today, we're going to be covering some really interesting topics: Vision Zero, safe systems, use of video analytics towards these initiatives, and even how all of these tie together in Bellevue, Washington. With that, I would like to introduce our guest for today, Franz Loewenherz. Franz is the Mobility Planning and Solutions Manager at City of Bellevue, Washington. He's responsible for pedestrian and bicycle implementation initiatives, transit partnerships, and alternative service delivery projects. He's an expert in data analysis systems, integrating emerging mobility technologies. He serves as an advisor to elected officials, executive staff, and the public with regard to risks and opportunities associated with land use and transportation policy. With all of this, I'm very excited to introduce Franz Loewenherz to the show. Hello and good morning, Franz.
Good morning, Robert. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So thank you for waking up extra early with probably an extra cup of coffee. But now that there's so much to discuss and so little time, let's jump right in. So as a starting point, can you provide a big picture perspective on Vision Zero and the safe systems-based response to traffic-related facilities and serious injuries?
Absolutely. Thanks, Robert. Vision Zero is an international movement that responds to what is one of the top 10 leading causes of death. According to the World Health Organization, over 1.3 million people die each year on the world's roads. And as with other preventable public health hazards, think measles, smallpox, other diseases prevented through vaccines, Vision Zero calls on government agencies to be proactive, to identify risks, and take steps to prevent injuries. And the safe systems approach is founded in the belief that death and serious injuries on city streets are preventable. They are not accidents. Crashes result from a set of design, infrastructure, and systemic issues, not just road user behavior. This holistic approach accepts that people will make mistakes, crashes will continue to occur, but it aims to ensure that these do not result in serious injuries or fatalities. So stated simply, Vision Zero is the goal, and the safe systems approach is how we get there.
That's great. So yeah, it sounds like they're definitely intertwined and a lot of opportunity for us to talk about a lot of things with them today. So how has the City of Bellevue, Washington institutionalized the safe systems-based approach towards Vision Zero?
Bellevue leaders are committed to Vision Zero, to eliminating traffic deaths and serious injury collisions on city streets by 2030. And to achieve this target, the Bellevue City Council adopted a safe systems approach that focuses on safe people, safe streets, safe speeds, and safe vehicles, as well as the supporting elements of leadership, culture, partnerships, and data. Bellevue recognizes that the way we design our streets, educate our road users, and establish and enforce traffic laws can dramatically improve safety. Following Council's approval of the Safe Systems approach and 36 strategies, staff finalized the Vision Zero strategic plan in December 2020. And to keep Bellevue's Vision Zero program efforts on track and to monitor progress, a cross-departmental staff team develops annual action plans. And the annual action plans identify the safe systems actions city departments will implement in a calendar year to ensure that residents, employees, visitors move safely and comfortably along roadway corridors with a full suite of mobility options.
Quite comprehensive. It sounds like a lot all put together. So I'm happy to hear that. It probably sounds like you have a huge team. Everybody getting together and having top-down buy-in is definitely where it's at to get that moving forward. As I know, a lot of communities are going towards this. You're really at the forefront, moving it forward nationally, and it gets a lot of recognition. So thank you for doing that. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the accomplishments from your city's 2021 Vision Zero action plan?
Sure. Bellevue staff made progress on all 17 actions identified in our 2021 plan. In the interest of time, I'll focus on two representative safe systems actions we pursued last year. In the safe streets category, the city implemented almost 10 miles of new pedestrian and bicycle facilities last year. This work reflects Bellevue's commitment to prioritizing pedestrian and bicycle safety, a major topic of concern given that people walking and bicycling, defined by state law as vulnerable road users, are much more likely to be involved in a fatal or serious injury collision compared to people in cars. And from 2012 to 21, 5% of all collisions in Bellevue involve people walking and bicycling. In contrast, these vulnerable road users represented 49% of all serious injuries and fatalities. Additionally, last year, the city secured $150,000 in grant funds from the Washington Traffic Safety Commission for 6 school zone road safety assessments that cover 12 schools in Bellevue. For me, this is personally gratifying work. This week alone, I coordinated our consultant team and city staff on 2 separate field investigations of streets near 4 different schools that are adjacent to the city's high injury network. There's a small number of city roadways where most fatal and serious injury collisions occur. And the results from these assessments are then used to make on the street safety improvements through city transportation projects.
That's great. It sounds like we're learning a lot from prior experiences and incidents on the roadway or transportation network to see how we can move forward and improve it for the future. So that's good, especially when you link it to schools, children walking to schools or roadway bikers and pedestrians that are otherwise more vulnerable than somebody in a protected vehicle. So Bellevue's video analytics towards Vision Zero program was actually a recipient of the 2021 National Roadway Safety Award from the Federal Highway Administration and Roadway Safety Foundation. Can you describe the program and the evolution of how it came about?
Sure. So crash data analysis is the traditional method used by transportation practitioners to identify area-wide or location-specific trends that warrant further consideration and potential intervention. However, as we all know, police-reported crashes may not reflect the full range of safety issues experienced by road users. And due to the rare and random nature of crashes, a minimum of 5 years of crash data is often required before an intervention analysis is triggered. So what if we didn't have to wait for crashes to occur in order to take the necessary preventative steps to keep future crashes from happening? Traffic conflict analytic techniques that leverage cloud computing, AI, and video intelligence offer predictive insight into when, where, and why crashes are most likely to occur at specific locations. The City of Bellevue is an early adopter and accelerator of these proactive safety techniques, having set in motion multiple technology development partnerships that convert raw video footage from our existing camera network into traffic flow, speed, and conflict event data. Initially, the program launched as a partnership with Microsoft Research and the University of Washington. That was back in 2016-18. And the lessons learned from that initial pilot led to subsequent video analytics partnerships with TransSoft Solutions and the Together for Safer Roads Coalition in 2019 and 2020. And then our collaboration with Advanced Mobility Analytics Group, Jacobs Engineering, and again, Microsoft in 2020 and 21. In addition to identifying conflict hotspots, often accomplished in 1 week of data collection versus many years of crash report documentation, video analytics offers rapid insight on whether a safety countermeasure achieves a favorable outcome. And so, for example, Bellevue made traffic signal changes at an intersection, 124th Ave Northeast and Northeast 8th Street. And in collaboration with TransSoft Solutions, we compared before-after video analytics data and confirmed there was a 60% reduction in near-miss collisions. That's a favorable return on investment for a $10,000 signal change. In our most recent recently completed partnership with Microsoft, Jacobs, and Advanced Mobility Analytics Group, Bellevue used video analytics to conduct a before and after evaluation on safety effectiveness of leading pedestrian intervals, LPI signal phasing, and the results showed a 42% reduction in conflicts between vehicles and pedestrians, which supported a decision to deploy LPIs more broadly across downtown Bellevue, which we began earlier this month.
Yeah, that's great. And to show the trend and forward movement, when I was doing roadway safety evaluations, crash data analyses, simply looking through stacks of paper that were probably faxed over to me to show what actually we had a record of, but what we didn't have a record of, the things that almost occurred but didn't, or the things that occurred that didn't get reported, we were missing the majority of the story. And it's not the one crash that we see and know about, it's the 50 others that could have happened and were a close call for, some reason or another. And I really think that the video analytics is really going to continue to propel forward our industry and how to make these enhancements and improvements and actually validate, there wasn't a pedestrian crash for a year. That's fine. But did we go from 50 near misses every week to 5? And I think living in an urban area, that's exactly what we need to go to. Because if that one thing could have been prevented had we seen something through AI or 24/7 visual observations over the course of a 1 or 2 week period, we can do so much more. And I think that's great and absolutely one very big foundation and building block towards Vision Zero. And definitely applaud you guys for getting into that. What are some of the planned activities in the city's 2022 Vision Zero action plan?
Thanks. Yes. Given the success of this video analytics work we've been doing, this past month, the city initiated its 4th partnership, this time with Amazon Web Services, Ouster, Outsight, Sighthound, Advanced Mobility Analytics Group again, and Farron Peers. And together we're exploring new safety metrics, this time with LiDAR and 4K video-based edge compute sensors at several downtown intersections. Additionally, we're exploring, the potential of interfacing these sensors with the city's adaptive traffic signals. As you're well aware, currently a lot of our industry relies on inductive loops buried in pavement to detect vehicles, bicycles, and then adjust signal timing accordingly. The technology we're working on right now offers the possibility of better detection of road users to increase safety and minimize traffic delay, as well as lower costs by eliminating the need to maintain loops under city streets. And one of the safety use cases we're exploring is leveraging pedestrian trajectory and walking speed data derived from video analytics to flag instances where someone is struggling to complete their crossing in the allotted walk interval. In this scenario, we'd like to have the AI platform intervene, providing advanced notification to the signal controllers of potential safety countermeasures, such as extending crossing phase and holding left turning traffic. This is an especially important use case, given that failing to yield to pedestrians has contributed to 41% of all pedestrian fatalities and serious injuries in Bellevue over the past decade.
Yeah, and it seems that would be a low-hanging fruit, easily implemented thing. If we can hold the left turn from occurring when they're trying to speed by before there's no longer an adequate gap in traffic from a vehicular standpoint, I imagine that might be when they're hitting pedestrians in the crosswalk that they're too nearsighted to see, with that conflict being a two-stage conflict, one with a vehicle and then one with the pedestrian crosswalk. The other thing you were just alluding to, it's all about cooperations, partnerships, working together and assembling a great team, it sounds. And, I definitely know a lot of the names you just rattled off, and they're all very fortunate to be working with you guys. And I look forward to seeing how the 2022 advances, and then next year reconvening and seeing where 2023 goes, because a lot of what we're doing in the industry is looking at yesterday, what we did, what worked, what didn't work, and then kind of doing it again, repeating it but iterating it annually to figure out how can we keep improving and not stay stagnant in no longer addressing what we can improve. So how does the Vision Zero safety goal align with other municipalities and their priorities such as equity and sustainability? This is really a nationwide thing, I think.
Sure. To achieve zero roadway fatalities and serious injuries, a transportation system needs to be safe for all users. An important area of focus for our Vision Zero initiative is the disproportionate adverse safety impacts that affect certain groups on our roadways. Notably, pedestrians and cyclists make up 49% of the serious fatal collisions in Bellevue. And our city leaders recognize that to make walking and cycling attractive options, we must focus on the safety and comfort of people on walking and biking. And to that end, we're bringing together diverse interest groups to advance transformative complete streets projects. And so the Urban Core Bicycle Rapid Implementation Project that I'll be overseeing commences this September in collaboration with our Transportation Commission. This is critically important work as 6 new light rail stations will open in Bellevue next year. And our community recognizes that walking, cycling, and taking public transportation are the cleanest ways to get around our city and can have enormous benefits for public health, greenhouse gas emissions, air quality, road safety, and of course, equity.
Yeah, and I think not only from the individual health standpoint and individual safety standpoint, what you're able to do with all of that work is really interconnect things. You're getting people maybe from a food desert to an area that actually has a grocery store. So maybe they're less likely to have McDonald's on the way home from work or a bunch of other things. And that's really where the interrelated relationship between transportation life cycle and land use is coming in, I think, because if we can connect those communities to the daily activities they need, whether it's a service, whether it's a doctor, any other provider, that definitely helps out. And having those new stations is absolutely great forward movement there. We have some extra time. Do you have any other 2021 Vision Zero action plan accomplishments you'd like to kind of hone in on or pat yourself on your own back and get some airtime with?
Actually, I'd like to focus more on what's upcoming. We never rest on our laurels. We keep very busy at the City of Bellevue, and we have a number of really exciting undertakings coming up in 2022. Our 2022 Vision Zero Action Plan emphasizes safe speeds related actions, including the development of a speed management plan and the pursuit of grant funding opportunities and advancing, as I mentioned, these rapid build bicycle and road safety programs. Related to the speed management plan, next Monday, the city will have its kickoff meeting with Toxel, the consultant team supporting this project. And together, we'll be considering wireless location data and in-vehicle telematics data to inform our understanding of prevailing speeds on our arterials. And these new sources of speed data could really help solve the problem of guessing whether our most recent speed study is too old. As an outcome from our speed management plan, we intend on developing performance monitoring recommendation and potentially a roadmap for moving beyond tube counts as our method of speed collection.
Yeah, the tube count method has been around for a long time, and I'm glad to see we're transitioning very well away from that because you're also in the field checking and seeing how your projects and work is going. And I remember when I did that, you'd find tubes ripped up every other day, every couple of days, and it compromises the validity of the information that you're obtaining. So leveraging that type of data with big data solutions definitely seems to be a much larger sample size, more accurate data, and the complete story of, these people speeding down the roadway. Well, where are they coming from and going to? How often do they do that? And I think those are the types of things that will even help us better plan it later in 2022, 2023, and beyond. But really, thank you so much for joining us today, Franz. It's been extremely informative and great time speaking with you. not only to share our discussions between each other and our colleagues, but also everybody else out there listening. So I know I feel a lot more educated on today's topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert.
Before we leave, I want to say that I hope everybody can join us next week when we have Valerie Loeffler on the show. Valerie is the founder and executive director of Phoenix Mobility Rising, a national nonprofit that provides reliable and affordable transportation in vulnerable and underserved communities. She's also an international expert in rural transportation, accessibility, and mobility as a service. With that, I want to wish you all a great day and weekend, and please come join us for Air Sage's Brewing Data next week. Thanks a lot.